Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time with our Monday expert, Emil. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
We're going to change it up. This topic's going to be a little bit about your personal portfolio or property that you have. You are not only a Monday expert talking about different markets and the like, but you're also a member of my course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, which I appreciate. So let's go through your, question, issue. Let's paint the picture for others so they can learn from this as well. And then let's see if I can help you.
Awesome. Yeah. So it's a bit self-serving, but I think other people have been in this position or will get into this position at some point. So hopefully it'll be helpful for others as well.
Yep.
So
I'm just taking notes. So
yeah,
what I'm doing over here.
So I got into my first small multifamily last November, triplex.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
We had a tenant leave a couple months ago, did the rehab work, had to like repaint, do some new stuff in the kitchen, fix a bunch of loose ends and odds. And my property manager, they've done a great job on the management side, but their leasing agent leaves a lot to be desired. So I'm curious to get your thoughts here.
Mm-hmm.
So it has been listed for about a month and a half, almost 2 months now. They started the rent super high, thinking, it's a strong market. Let's see what we can get.
Mm-hmm.
Had to lower the price like 3 times.
Ooh.
I'll give specific numbers. We were at $825 for 1 bed, 1 bath to start.
Okay.
I thought we should have been closer to like $650 on the high end, but they wanted to go aggressive. And I don't know. I trust my property manager to be the smart person in this market. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Let's see how you guys do. It's kind of a test as well, right?
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
So they keep lowering the price, and it shows on the listing, which makes the listing look way worse, right?
Of course.
Doing price drops every other week.
Yep.
So now we are at $650.
Ouch.
And it's been about 2-3 weeks. I talk to the leasing agent once a week, and he kind of is just like, we're getting close. We got more activity since we lowered the price and took new pictures and put up a new listing and blah, blah, blah. I'm curious, at what point would you just say, you guys are incompetent? I don't know. How would you handle this if you're like 7 weeks into listing?
Yeah. So let me ask you a couple more questions. This is to ideally help others as well.
Sure.
You have properties in multiple markets. Is this a market where it is your only property?
No.
So you have others?
I have, yes. One
and
more single
with
family there.
And they're with the same team?
The single family home I have kept with another property manager because I used the triplex to test these guys out.
Okay. All right. So that's interesting. So talk about the triplex. So when you bought it, it was full?
It was full. Rents were probably 20-30% under market. I knew we'd have to come in, and this was your, how you talk about B properties and how they're misleading. This was my B that I got to experience.
Got it. Okay. All right. So, it was full. So they were in the 5s for rent. They should have been in the 6s is what I hear you saying.
Yeah. It was $485. It should have.
Oh, geez. Okay. Full.
If we should, the market's gone up, as you know, rents have gone up. We fixed it up. We made it look nice. It's in an area that's getting better. So all those things.
All right. So you buy it, it's full. How much do you spend after purchase, cleaning, dressing up the outside, maybe taking care of some safety things? What'd you spend?
For this unit and everything?
No, the property, the triplex. I'm guessing you spent something.
Yeah. So actually, no, when we bought it, it was just like a couple, when new owner changes, they have like a bunch of maintenance requests that all of a sudden come in from the tenants.
All right. So you didn't paint the outside or do new windows or anything. Okay. All right. So you buy it, it's livable, it's rented. So this is really the first time you've tested this new property management. So how did they do the turnover? Was it on target, on time, a little too expensive? Because you have some other units. What'd you think about that?
The turn was a little bit more expensive than I was expecting, but we got quotes from a couple different vendors. So this was the best cost by far. They did a good enough job. So,
all right. So really it is the leasing.
Yeah.
It really is that. And that, it sounds like that is a different person. It sounds like this property management firm is big enough where it has a leasing arm and kind of the operations.
Yeah. They have like one guy dedicated to leasing.
Okay. How many things is he trying to lease at one time? Any idea?
I don't know. I haven't asked.
So that would be something I would try to, because basically what we're trying to figure out is what I'm trying to figure out for you is you're probably just the least important because it's the cheapest rent. Because I had a property management, one of my first 5 that I fired, where they took over an apartment building that was under leased, and their entire focus was making that person happy, and thus my house, 1 or 2 houses back in the day, were uninteresting. Right? They kept telling me they were doing the work, and they kept showing me this or that, but it's clear that they spent 100% of their time filling up this apartment because it was the biggest thing they had.
Right.
So that would be one thing I'm trying to figure out is how many things are on this guy or gal's plate.
Okay.
And I don't know that I mean, maybe you ask him, but I think I'd ask others, or if you know the site, go and look yourself, right? Because they're probably listing all of their stuff the same way they're listing yours. So go figure it out, right? Do they have 77 or do they have 7?
Yep.
Right. So I'm trying to figure out, is it a demand supply problem and this guy's just overworked? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just trying to figure out where the issue lies.
Okay.
Second, clearly something happened wrong with pricing, right?
Oh, yeah.
An 825 in a gut feel 650, that's 25%.
Yeah. Massively off.
I would have a phone call to explain that. I would. And you're taking their temperature. Do they push it off? Do they blame this? Do they blame that? Do they own up to make a mistake, which frankly I'd respect? Do they have examples of where 825 worked and yours just didn't? I'd want to ask them, right? Because you trusted them, which you should, and it burns you, right? You've lost a month. Mm-hmm. I have not had a vacancy past 2 weeks, even in an apartment building, in 3 years, 3.5 years. That's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If you don't get apps in the first week, you're too high. You're just too high today. So I would have them explain that. You're just testing them. And then the other thing I would do is I would call the other property manager that you have at the house, give them the address, and ask them what they think rents would be. Let's see. Maybe they come back at 825 or 800 also. And it's like, what's wrong? Maybe it's a cross street or something. Maybe a neighbor. I don't know. Because it could be lots of reasons why something doesn't rent.
Right.
Maybe the showing is bad. Who knows? But I would certainly have them explain it. I would certainly, because you have a relationship, ask the other firm, say, hey, I bought this. I'm thinking about this. What do you think? You're collecting data. This is, I always talk about 2 strikes with the property manager. I would make it very clear this is strike 1. Mm-hmm. Nobody gets 2 strikes. You're the second strike, you're gone. Right. Okay. Everybody makes an error. If they own up to it, they explain it great. They try to blame me for it. Forget it. Right. Is weather a problem? I mean, I don't know where this is like getting cold and winter's always slower, or do you know?
I mean, they started in September. So
it shouldn't be a problem, right?
It shouldn't be a problem. It's in St. Louis, but
okay.
It's not an issue yet. We're starting to get close, which is why I'm like,
yeah, you're like, yeah. So on that topic, again, something you might want to do, again, because I've never invested where it snows. So this is just one guy's opinion, but it might be getting to a point. Cause like, if you're out another 2 weeks, you could get hit with snowstorms.
Right.
You might want to offer half off deposit or half off rent. You've got to get it full now, right? You got to get somebody moved in before there's snow on the ground.
Right.
So again, get them to explain it, but also I think you're running into a window that's rapidly closing. You might want to put some sugar and spice on this and get somebody in.
Right. Yeah, I did grill him. I was like, how do you have it at 820? Like, I was like, guys, the listing looks like crap. We've had to do this multiple, like,
how are their other listings? Have you looked at their other listings for vacants or just?
I haven't.
Yeah.
So they don't have them on their site. They just have them on like Zillow and all the different sites.
Can you search their name, or can you search their company?
That's a good idea. Maybe I can just search in Zillow for like, they put the property management name on each listing. So maybe I can
search for that.
See how many days all their other listings are up there.
And are they all crap? And maybe, who knows? I mean, you just never know, right? Maybe this is maybe what happened is they got so busy and now they have 2 leasing agents. And this is the guy's first attempt at a listing. He doesn't know what a listing. I mean, there could be all kinds of stories. Yeah. You just got to go find the story.
they owned up to it. He was like, this was my mistake. I went a little too aggressive to start. It didn't work out like we wanted it to. Totally my bad.
But why does the listing look like crap? That's right. I think you said that.
Yeah. When you have like price drops every other week,
it's just,
it's telling people nobody wants this thing. Like,
yeah. So that's not good. Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. Might be time for me to also,
I would ping that other firm and just ask them what they would ask, and don't tell them. Right.
They're not good either. It's I probably need to, the reason I'm testing out this new one is like,
because you didn't like the other one.
Yeah, exactly. So I need to,
you need to post this in our Facebook group, because I know there's several other St. Louis investors there.
Yeah.
Ask who they use.
Yeah, I should.
I remember there's a couple that's done several deals in St. Louis. Ask who, just put it in there. Anybody else invest in St. Louis? Who's the property manager you like? Let's get you a new one. It sounds like.
Yeah.
It's hard. Again, I changed 5 property managers in 5 years. It's hard. It was hard for me 2.5 hours away. I can't imagine 7 states or whatever it is between here and there. It's got to be done sometimes. And
it's not my first time. I've had to cycle through property managers. So
it's not fun.
Trial and error.
Yeah, trial and error. Well, I would post it in the group because, again, I know there's one Nathan and his wife.
Yeah, I know Nathan.
Yeah, so I would ask them who they use.
I think I know who he uses, and I decided to test someone else out because I had heard from somebody else that it's like you ask two people about the same property manager and they have different opinions. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, again, property managers are the lifeblood, certainly out of state. You are managing them. They are managing your units and tenants.
Right.
That means sometimes mistakes happen, hence the 2-strike system. But at some point, it is your money. It is your income, because they're going to get paid regardless.
Right. Buck stops with me.
Buck stops with you, man. So any other questions or thoughts on this?
No, that's helpful. I want to, I think it's a good idea to like look at their other listings, just see how well they do. Is our unit the issue, or are they really do they have a ton
did they nail the other ones, or is everybody price drop? Take a look.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, let me know. Send me a note. Post that thing in our private group, and let's see what happens.
Will do.
Thanks buddy.